Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Adventures in Arcane Space. Once again, our players are...
Hi, I'm Lance Corporal Higgimus, play a Giff fighter.
I'm David Big Mac Shepherd. I play Braxon, who is a fighter from Farm and Asteroid near Brow.
I'm Levalithana, an elven wild mage.
I'm playing Yeldan Sharpeye, a elven ranger.
I'm playing Ockar, human paladin.
I am playing Lafdul Moonglade, a multi-class thief and specialty priest.
Okay, and where we left off last time, the party had just arrived at the moon of Green Shield. Go ahead and move over to the map. And the moon is orbiting a average-sized, as they go, a small-sized air world.
Because gas giant is not that small.
Well, this one is pretty small for air worlds. So it's size E. You can kind of tell by the size of the clouds and the atmosphere and everything like that. And you're closing in on Green Shield. You can see that it's probably about mid-morning on that world right now. And you can see the plateau in the center. It's fairly small compared to the overall size of the world itself. The world itself is size C, I believe. Let me double check.
Okay.
Yes, C. And it's about 600 miles in diameter. For those wondering, size E is roughly the size of Earth. So, it's just size categories.
Left.
So, right now you're too far to. Well, hold on a second. Right now you're too far to really get a good view on the planet. It'll probably take you about an hour to move in and sight
get
down
into
the planet.
spyglass range.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna pull out my spyglass and start looking because I spent freaking gold on that.
Okay.
Just jump change. What are you on about?
Alright, yeah, so I guess we need to get closer. Unless anybody has any objections.
Nope.
Nope.
No,
Not currently.
Yeah, I'm gonna survey the plateau, see if there's any ships landed on there or not.
we're getting the looking out for creatures in case there's anything
In the
like
air.
scavers, anything else like scavers flying around, looking for things to eat.
Okay. You are. Let me go ahead and double check something. Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and bring you over to the map so you can see the plateau. Okay. So, Higgimus and
Pretty nice map.
Yeldan.
Ooh, fancy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know. It's totally not a map that I pulled out of a Dragon magazine. No, definitely not. Oh, no, Dungeon magazine.
I steal my maps off the internet all the time.
So this is what you can see. You can see that there is there are a couple pools on the.
Is that the plateau?
No, that is actually a mountain in the center of the plateau. This whole thing is a plateau. This is this is the rise up.
What's the scale?
Were we given any idea of whereabouts they might have landed their ship?
You were told that they would have put down near a pool, but you can see at least 3 pools right now.
What's the scale?
Right now you'd guess. Let me double check. I mean, yeah, you can do the measuring tool, but
I don't know if that's on the right scale though.
It is.
Okay.
It's about 5 meters at the longest. 5 miles at the longest, not meters. That's silly.
Okay.
That'd be pretty small.
Now, I mean, overall, it's pretty small compared to the
The rest
large
of the
size
planet.
of the planet, but it is by far the highest point. There really aren't mountains beyond the mountain on the center of the plateau. Just some rolling hills that you can see within the forests. There are some plains, there are some forests. You don't really see any deserts on the world, but still the majority of the planet is covered in pretty dense forests.
So doesn't look like there's any. Is there any good? Does it look like there's any good landing points around this pool?
Yeah. As you're looking at it, you can actually make something out there.
Oh,
Hold
does
on a
it look
second.
like a ship?
Give me a second. Be able to click on the. I need to be able to click on the right thing.
I think we need to check to see if there's more than one ship there.
Oh, whoops, the wrong thing.
Because if there's any,
Since we were told by pool, I'm gonna check all the pools.
yeah, but I think we need to check to see if there's a second ship down there, because if what we were told is true, someone would have landed there.
So examining the that what really is a lake, you can see on the shore what appears to be some sort of fortification. Looks like a wooden stockade of some sort.
Big enough area for a ship to land?
Well, the lake itself is plenty large enough, and it looks like there is a makeshift dock there, but you don't see any ships. Even checking the other shores, you don't see any ships.
Okay. I'm gonna check this pool next.
The northern one.
Yep.
There is definitely space there, and you can see the grass is disturbed. You know, in the area, you know, up here, but you don't see a ship there right now.
Okay, and then I'm gonna check this one, which looks a little different.
Ping it again.
The marshy bit up the top.
Okay, that is definitely not a lake. That is a marsh. That is swampland.
Okay, that's a mark. You said there was two.
Yeah, there's another one down here.
I
Yeah.
was thinking
Oh, look at that one. It doesn't look. It looks like pretty surrounded by forest.
Yeah, there's definitely no. I mean, other than ships that can land in water, but you know that they came
Like
on
ours.
Dragonfly.
I think ours can land in water, right?
It's a land-based one. Yeah,
Oh.
you've got a wasp. But you know, other than ones that can land in water, it doesn't look like there's enough space there for an easy landing. It's possible that something could land there, but you're not seeing a ship there right now.
Okay. I think I would point to this one up here first and says it looks like something's been there recently. We could look at that one, or we could look at this point at the other one. This one, which seems to have a fortification around it. The third one, no land-based ship could really have any landing. I'm assuming that the ship that the person we were told had a land-based landing.
Yeah,
landing,
they had a dragonfly.
which can't land in water.
Correct.
It can crash in water, though.
Oh, sure.
Well, everything.
Any ship can, but that's beside the point. So it's up to you which one's first. There's no
I
ships
think
here,
even
so,
our ship crashes in water.
so it means that whoever took them or not is possibly not here anymore.
Well, I think that was a given.
Well, you never know.
Put
They could have
together
still hung
information.
around while they waited for the things to go through.
And we looked at all three of the pools, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Only
Didn't-
two have viable options.
Now you're
Didn't we-
you're still pretty far away, so you were able to see the stockade, but that's about all you could see about it. Even with the spyglass right now, you're still too far away to really make out details, other than the fact that it exists.
Are spyglasses expensive, by the way?
Oh yeah, they're like
Yes.
10,000 gold pieces.
1,000.
Oh, was it 1,000?
Yeah.
It's still pretty expensive.
That as expensive as it is in other editions. Okay.
Spyglasses are very high quality workmanship because flaws in
They
it
can col-
essentially mean that they're not useful.
It's like a telescope.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going.
Well, you've got some
Didn't-
choices.
I suggest I'll point out the camp in that one. We could get closer to have a closer look at that camp, see if there's actually people there or not.
Well, I was
Which
hoping.
that one? Sorry.
Go on.
Which that one?
I just
Okay.
pinged it.
Okay.
Well,
Which
I
has
mean,
the camp
Higgimus,
there,
you've
and-
got one. You've got a spyglass as well. I mean, if you've got other things that you want to look at.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. So there's all those river places. I guess I kind of want to scan these open areas.
Okay.
And here.
Braxon leans into Higgimus and says, "We should be looking to see if there's signs of anyone else that's landed."
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I'm figuring if they were after our people, they'd have landed out of the way and trekked across land to try and tackle them, to sneak up on them.
All right. You don't see anything out of the ordinary in those clear spots at the moment, given the distance.
What was our Patreon, his son, what was he tasked to, what was he trying to look for? What kind of animal?
Not looking for anything in particular. It
Yeah,
was
it's
basically just a big game hunting expedition, adventure, camping.
Did they
trip
say
kind
where
of
they
thing.
landed?
By the way, Yeldan
Vaguely.
did not talk about it at all, but he didn't ask any questions 'cause he didn't want to know. Because he's one of those people who's like, you hunt something, you use the whole thing.
Well, and you don't know one way or the other whether they would have. I mean, it's entirely possible to hunt. Like you hunt deer, you use the meat, the hide, and then you get the head taxidermied and put on a wall. So you
Yeah.
do use
doesn't-
everything.
Yeah, he
Isn't this a
doesn't-
hunting lodge for rich people?
Well,
If yes, then there should be some buildings around that.
They don't last very long.
No, if you remember, the monsters attack and destroy buildings. So that structure down there that Yeldan spotted, that's not going to be there forever.
Yeah,
However-
but you
It
see
also
that,
means it's
they're rich.
relatively
Rich people are used to their comforts. They
Yeah.
So that
whoever
means
is in
it's-
charge of organizing this thing will make certain that there will always be a lodge or something around where people can stay. So we should be able to see signs of something like that.
Braxon especially would be aware that that's not the case here, because
Yeah.
while I mean, number one, you come here in a ship, you can always stay on the ship. So if you want some comforts, then you get a ship that has some comforts on it, and you stay on the ship and just go out from there. But also, many of them would tent it. They'd bring tents, maybe even big luxurious tents with retainers and stuff like that. But
Like those big pavilion tents.
yeah. But no,
Braxton, we could make some.
there's no known hunting lodges that are permanent structures on the world. Anything that gets built in that manner, within a number of years, they get overrun and destroyed and stuff like that.
AKA,
The thing
it's too damn expensive.
I have this mental image of a quote coke stand on one of those lakes, or the local equivalent.
The thing I'm thinking is that structure that that Yeldan saw. That's either a friendly structure that could have some of our friends' crew in. It could even be something they've built after their ship was downed, so that they can hold up. Or it could be something that's occupied by the people that we don't like.
Mean the
So-
people that we're after?
Yeah, so we're going to have to be careful. We might even need to come and land on another part of the plateau and cross over there. It's up to everyone what we do. We either land right there, right in front of it, and see whether they come and attack us, or we sneak in. So I think we should have a vote on it.
I'm for sneaking.
Hold up. Lafdul interjects with Braxon. Do you want me to try and figure it out?
Oh yeah. Your special power might help us know whether we can just walk straight in or not.
He asks either Yeldan or Higgimus if he could temporarily borrow a spyglass so he gets an idea of what it is first.
Sure, I'll hand it over.
No, based on being able to now see it, he's going to use Ockar. He's going to ask everyone for some insight into the nature of this building and what we might expect there. Hang on, let me just I have done the stats for the dice, so they've been adjusted now.
Okay.
And I'm going to be rolling 1d. Well, you obviously tell me what it is, and I got 12 dice. I'm doing it as 12.
Okay.
I think you're doing a GM roll so people don't see it.
Well, no, he's not.
No, he tells me,
Yeah.
and obviously I
Right,
tell
got you.
you.
Yeah, this is
I
this is
try
kind
and
of
discern
akin to reading the bones or reading runes or something like that. You shake them into a bowl
Got ya.
and what comes up.
Got you.
He uses dice because it suits his god.
I also have I forget I got positive and negatives in representing good and bad. So that information you might want to convey.
All right.
Skull for death, monsters of danger.
Let me see. So
Any of those
you
pressure
roll
on
your dice into like a bowl kind of thing or something to contain them.
Well, not bold. He'd all roll into the center.
Well,
Something
but
flat.
I mean, but
It's
something
magic
with
coordination,
edges so that they don't roll off.
Yeah,
and you could still do it into a bowl. Sometimes that could play a part. But so you roll your dice, and in this case, I'm gonna like kind of interpret it for you what what the results are, and the dice are clearly indicating that there is danger there.
Out of 12 dice, how many of them are skulls then? That's the danger threat level, and
Out of
obviously
12, it comes up with. So that's kind of the weird thing is that when you rolled
I've
it,
got
12 came up, but then they got bumped by other dice, and it comes down to 7.
so the
Are
other
the rest
ones.
And that to you
neutral?
is significant.
Yeah, I've got other ones which are. Do any of them show scrolls, which is basically representation of information?
Yes.
Is it positive? Or, do I have any positive or negative? As in, like, or is it neutral?
It's
So it's 3 other dice.
it basically
I'm not worried
comes up
about the
with
treasure.
one.
What was that?
Comes up
Was
with
it-
one positive information icon. So there's danger, but there is knowledge there.
Well, it wasn't positive information. I mean, information is just information.
Okay.
Positive represents whether they're friendly or hostile.
Oh,
Good people like a town, a friendly town, or like a hostile encampment, that kind of nature.
right. Which is why I'm trying to, I'm kind of interpreting it for you.
All right.
There's definitely danger there, and looking at the dice, you also read that there's kind of watchfulness.
Watchfulness.
Yeah.
As in...
That's what you interpret. I mean, exactly what the dice come up doesn't really matter. I mean, it's like, look at any representation of rune casting and reading knuckle bones and stuff like that, and you can interpret that kind of thing. It's like, a specific combination of some of the dice indicates that there's watchfulness there.
Come on in, give us your pitch.
I don't know how I can pitch this. Lafdul looked rather terrified at the prospect of his dice, and he conveys to the party that we may well indeed find what we're looking for there, but it's going to be an exceptionally hard fight.
Sounds like fun.
We've done that
It's
before.
in, like, the deep spawn. We really need to be careful for that for when we do go there.
Right. So we don't
Let's
land
sneak in.
directly there.
No, we
Yeah,
get
let's sneak
to
in.
there.
Well, here's a question. We've got a river along. I can't ping it now.
You might be on the
Here's
ruler or something like that. You need to be on the arrow.
a thing about I'll point out is like
Oh.
there might be information there, but we might not necessarily need to interact with it at all, depending on what information is left. Now we know that's hostile. We don't know if they landed there or not. Problem. But I will point this out because I remember Ald said there was over here. There was disturbances and there was some disturbances if a ship had landed there recently.
No, I
It's
agree with
possible they
Yeldan.
landed over at the other one that isn't surrounded by trees. Which means that what I would suggest is to land over here, like not right on it though, like a bit away, so we don't disturb any tracks like that.
I actually think we need to explore that base there, but I don't think we could land at the base because they might have people looking out for us. There might be an ambush there.
We might be able to land somewhere here.
Could be a spot.
Well, are they going to see us coming in? I'm thinking we can fly in along the ground and land over this side and follow the river, or we can fly in along the ground and land over this side and follow along that river.
Landing on the marsh area is not really the perfect thing to do because if the marsh is bad enough, it may just essentially open up and take care of a ship.
Okay.
I would not want to.
Fair
land
enough.
on a
Fair enough. So if we try and come in on this side, we've got to be below the plateau, come along on top of the trees, land on here, and then we've got to get across this body of water. So we'll have to sneak around and maybe cross here.
The thing is landing. I don't want to land anywhere near there in case they are.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because watchfulness that they'll watch for more ships. I think.
Well, I'd rather land over
landing
here.
Anywhere near there, so I would rather land over here, where I think was more likely the other ship that will actually that the sun came in on.
Mhm.
Possibly landed.
Can't pick on the things.
Do we know that those are our friends?
We don't. It could be the other way around.
Then I would suggest we land here. That's nice and in the middle.
Well, no, nobody here has. There's no ship here. There's nothing there now. But I've seen some disturbances in the
Here's a question.
in the grass that suggested a ship has landed there recently.
I've got a question for Lafdul and Alivi. Is there anything people can do to make a ship invisible?
Not by our means.
No, maybe not by your means.
How big is it? Could we sort of collect some branches and leaves and at least try and...
I'm not talking
it
about
less
our
big?
ship. I'm not talking about our ship. I'm talking about the hostile.
Oh, in general?
Yeah.
I'm sure there are ways of making it either, if not invisible, then far less visible than it would normally look like. I mean, as I said, if you apply the same thing to the other ships and they put branches and leaves on top of them, then we wouldn't see them. We'd see a little spot of leaves and branches.
So could it be possible that there's a camouflage ship or invisible ship at this location?
Old, is it possible?
I think you already answered that.
Yeah.
It could be possible, yes.
Right. Well, I don't think we should land there then.
Okay.
I think we should go there, but I think our priority should be the place where Lafdul's magic told us there was something dangerous.
Yeah.
What exactly is this area? Did I miss that?
That's a mountain.
Oh, that's a mountain. Okay.
Yeah. It's not hugely tall. It's not craggy, but it's still, a few hundred feet higher than everything else. Incidentally, there are also 2 low hills here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I can kind of see
let's say
that.
if we landed around here. If we landed around here, well, in the open area here, we'd actually be hidden from both sides, from this one and from this one.
Yeah.
It's way too small, though.
No, you got to remember how big these hexes are.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. I didn't know how long it takes to travel or how big these hexes are.
Yeah, that will be the next
Each
question. A few
hexes
hundred
are
feet,
about
few hours.
0.2 miles, so...
Surely we could land in this open area and still be hidden.
That does look like a reasonably good area.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we land too close to the tree line, there might be monsters that jump out at us.
If we
Well,
were
the
to
thing is,
estimate,
is
how
our
long
ship
does it take to travel there?
Something to consider also, Yeldan, is our main plan was not to leave the ship landed.
Yeah, we could tell the crew to take it back up once we landed. So that's
Well, we need to land it at some point to get us off the ship.
Well, yeah,
Well-
that's what we didn't rearrange signal for that purpose.
Yeah, I've already arranged some signals which, along with Higgimus, as to what we might need to do for what we do if we want them to come to certain places.
Mhm.
Is there a sun?
He said,
that
waving his
reflects
hand.
a mirror?
Was there
Because
what?
that would work as a signal.
What was that?
If we have a mirror, we can just reflect against the sun.
Do you know how hard it is to see a mirror?
We'll get
No.
a big mirror.
We don't
No,
have a
but
big
I-
mirror.
I certainly have prism. So do I? Yes, I do have prisms with
It
me.
would something.
For- So you could use a prism.
Even with a spyglass, you can get a signal from it.
Yeah.
Again,
But the question is, of course, whether anyone will notice.
yeah.
Yeah, and as if there's even a sun
Well,
to.
I thought
No,
the
there's sun.
signal involved like maybe some illusion magic.
What do we do at night? Yeah, I could. What could I do? Do we know?
Right. So, Yeldan, you're our expert at overland movement. If we are to land here, how long will it take us to get here and back?
Well, because there's that river there, depending on which way the river's flowing. Can we tell which way the river's flowing?
We wouldn't go
you
in the
can-
river.
You can actually tell that the source of the river on each end is the lake. So the water's flowing away from the lake in both directions.
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
one, it would take some time to make a raft, but making a raft would be far more time efficient to follow the river and go up the river in a raft than walking alongside it.
Can't we use
What's-
our
what's
folding
the-
boat?
What's
You can get a floating
the
boat.
what's
Well,
the chance
those-
of having monsters in the river?
Crocodiles or something of like.
There's a few water-living creatures that could be in the water, like crocodiles. There's piranhas could be an issue, but they're generally not an issue unless you're actually in the water. Crocodiles will possibly attack. Boat.
Okay, so how about we take our folding boat to about here? Yeah, and then we we sneak slightly up the hill and go through the woods to come up on that base.
But
So-
personally, I would rather check this camp up here first.
So you, Braxon, you would go from here to here, and and then up here and down like this.
Not that far up the hill, but yes.
Why?
Because-
why do you go up the hill?
Because we don't want them to see us because they could be hostile. On the other hand, that they could be friendly and we can't kill them. So we're going to have to go into this with the
What about
assumption.
like this?
Well, wasn't
Here,
it
Lafdul
can
here
be
we
like-
are
saying that
between,
they would be
between two parts of
hostile?
the front. Here
It
we
could
are
be like-
between.
All I mean is that we go into the tree line. We don't walk in the open.
Mhm.
We go into the tree line enough. It can be 10 foot, 20 foot, 30 foot. We go into the tree line enough so that we cannot be seen by lookouts. Bear in mind that if they have scouts, they might have set traps or things that ring bells or things like that. So we might need to be cautious. We might need to have Yeldan out there looking after us. And when we get there, we're going to have to do building clearance. Now, we have to bear in mind there could be friendlies. It could be the crew of our friends, and it could be the crew of our enemies. So we're not going to know this until we get there. There could also be monsters there. The camp could be overtaken by monsters. So we're going to have to deal with that when we get there, and we're going to have to be very careful that we don't murder the wrong people, and that we do murder the right
I'm
people.
gonna look at.
Something
As-
I don't
as-
care.
I'm gonna double check.
I can't delete the first bit of the line anymore.
You gotta select.
Yeah. I got the second bit off all right, but it doesn't let me. It doesn't let me.
I took
Thank
care
you,
of it.
whoever that was.
As to the site that Yeldan's interested in, I think we have to go to that site as well. But we've got a spell from Lafdul that's given us specific warnings about this site, and I think we need to go there as quickly as we can, get that clear, and then we can go straight to the other site. If we go to the first site and we find the people we're looking for, we're just going to come back. We're going to get them on our ship and get them off planet. If we find evidence that they've been tackled with, we'll have to deal with that there. Yeah. If we find any survivors, they can help us. If we don't find any clues, we need to get to Yeldan's site as quickly as possible. So then I'd be looking at how quickly can we get to Yeldan's site.
Mhm.
Yeah. And if both sites turn up blanks and we've got to go to the third site, are we going to need to signal the ship?
I fully agree with you. On the other hand,
The thing
Yeldan
is,
is a
it's the
ranger,
one
so
that- That's danger. I want to clarify something. Didn't Lafdul's thing say that they were hostile?
There was danger there. They didn't specify that they were hostile. It's just
Yeah.
dangerous.
I
So-
was just double checking.
But danger could be that the camp's been overtaken by monsters,
Yeah.
and that we walk in the front door and there's monsters trying to eat us. It could be a red herring.
Braxon, I agree with your plan. With the what's the word? With I do think that Yeldan is the ranger. So once we're on the ground and we can actually look around, we should listen to him what he says. Whether it's it may actually turn out to be easier to go across the hill instead of going along the lake, along the river.
Definitely.
But judging from the distance in the sky looking down, I think your plan is perfectly fine.
Yeldan's gonna question. What did we learn about Slavis setting up camp on the Green Shield?
Sometimes they do it, but not for long.
How permanent does this base look?
Well, I mean, it's a surrounded by a wooden palisade, so it's as permanent as that.
How long would I think it take to set something up like this?
Depends on the number of people involved. It could go really quick. You know that some armies are able to set up something like this in, a night, a day kind of thing. But those are armies. You don't know how many people there are. You don't even know if there are people here. You're a little bit too
Basically,
far away to get a good view,
more-
other than the fact that it's a wooden stockade.
basically it would take more time than there were people on the dragonfly.
Well,
Then that's passed.
it would
If for
take
that amount.
for the number of people that you know who can fit on a dragonfly without overtaxing it. It would definitely take many weeks to set something like
Yeah.
that up.
I mean, imagine.
I'm gonna mention it's like, I know you guys really are interested in that camp, but I don't think it's any possibility that it's who we're looking for, because the amount of time it would take to set something up like that far too long for the amount of people that would be on just a dragonfly.
Yeah, but that might have been pre-built for them.
I don't think so. He wasn't. It doesn't sound like you sent people. It didn't sound like he sent people ahead or anything like
If we were
that.
c-
It was
if-
just guarantee you
coming-
that it's more than
Sorry.
likely it's flavors, and I don't want to get into a fight that quickly. I rather find out any information that we can, where they probably landed, which is over here from what I'm seeing.
If there's slavers there,
Because
they
also,
they probably have our people or our people's crew.
possibly, and we can go there after.
If we
Because
go there
they can-
after and they leave,
They're
we've
not,
got
they
to
don't
chase them
have
across
a
wild space.
ship there right now.
If we go to the other place and they've got people that they're going to get off world and the ship's coming, we could miss them. I mean, if the majority of other people say go to the other site first, but Lafdul casts a spell on that site and we've got some specific information. And I
Yeah,
think
that's
we need
gonna
to
be
go to both. I think we need to go to both sites, but I think that one is the higher priority.
It's also insanely dangerous. I remember. Don't you remember that deep spawn? That was not a neat fight. And now it's just one creature.
We don't have to walk in the front door. We can go there and we can observe. You're an expert. You could look at footprints. You could tell us how many people are going in and out of that building. We can see whether there's 4 people going in there or if there's hundreds of people. We could look at the stockade. We can see if there's people manning the battlements and that sort of thing.
I'm also going to point out, because there's a dock on that one, I'm assuming they're going to have a Spelljammer ship that can land in the water.
It could also be less that there's a bunch of people there and more that there's a few people there, but they're really strong.
Yeah, but we can find that out. We don't have to walk up to someone and start an altercation with them. We can sneak up and we can observe them.
All right. I'm definitely wearing the leather armor for this.
Yeah, I mean we should be armored up. We might need to have a fight, but we don't need to have a fight. If we can ascertain that this is nothing to do with us and that the place is infested with creatures and there's no one alive in there, we can just back off.
All right.
I want to say that I have a spell for me and Yeldan, but I am possibly Lava because she's not wearing any armor. We could camouflage. I have a spell that allows me to camouflage that practically makes us invisible as long as we're generally being quiet. And it'll last
sounds
under
good.
an hour.
But you do realize Levi is rather clumsy in comparison to you and
You've
Yeldan.
got 2 people leading you. And you're not
You
wearing
carry
armor.
me around. Yes, please.
Well, not so much that. You step where we step. You follow our lead.
Okay.
If you'd have told me, I'd have built a seating chair.
Oh.
I never. Wow. On Higgimus, maybe. Not me. I'm too small.
Higgimus just takes Levan and slings it over his shoulder.
Doesn't to any of us.
Maybe we could demount the helm and put 2 poles on it.
Anyways, I guess we're gonna land. But yeah, landing over here seems to be the safest spot. It's like it's not gonna be land. The real question is if they're gonna see the ship land.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking if we come in from what we'll call the south, over the tree line, yeah, rather than come straight down. If we come in from the south over the tree line, we can. Let me see if I can get an arrow. We can try to come in like this That's not an arrow, is it?
You can use
No,
the
you gotta hit the
measuring.
ruler
Yeah, use a ruler.
like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly like that.
Yeah, that would work. Certainly.
Or we could even come in from this sort of angle. No, that's not the arrow.
It's
Use
the
the ruler.
ruler. It's above.
There we go.
It's below the magnifying glass.
Yeah. If we come in from this sort of angle.
Yeah, close enough to the ground that the trees here.
Hey, Old.
Mhm.
Does the folding boat
Here,
come with
cover
oars?
Yes.
Are they folding oars?
Yeah, probably. The boat had what, 3 modes, right?
Yeah.
Box. Was it rowboat size?
Good enough size.
And then really big size.
We need a folding Spelljammer helm.
I don't think it would work nearly as well.
I meant as an emergency. We could leave our ship in space and fly in and put the helm in our pockets.
I don't think the folding ship folds that tiny.
It's probably a thing.
All right. So did you guys come to a decision?
Yeah,
Hmm.
Where are we landing?
here. But we're gonna approach like this, I think.
Yeah.
So we can
Landing in
come
that-
in-
We're landing
Below-
in this thing here.
so we can
Yeah.
come in below this tree line here.
Bit closer to the river, or we might even go north side to the river, so we don't have to cross the river. Oh, if we're going with the
taking
boat, it doesn't matter.
We're taking the boat down up the
Yeah.
river.
Okay. Hold on a second.
So the idea is to come in below this tree line, so it's less likely we're spotted by the camp over here. Unless they're really, really searching for it, coming in ships.
Higgimus is glad that he has a new ring that helps him with traversing water.
Oh yeah, because you almost drowned.
Okay. So
are you dealing
there
with
is
that?
a token for your ship. Basically, any of you can move it. Go ahead and let me know exactly where you're going to be landing.
You're seeing
Right
how
up
it's
there?
being moved?
Yeah.
And then one more. So
Wow.
like right, because we want to land next to the river.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we got people on the ballista and everything when we land.
Just as a heads up on my camouflage, I can do 4 people.
Okay.
But
Right.
don't they have to be elves? Wasn't that one of the?
No, I've just got to be the one casting it.
Ah.
Okay.
It's-
So you want to
anyone can have a spell.
you want to put down there out in the open. Are you going to do anything to the ship once you put down?
Well, the plan is the ship's gonna take off in reverse of the path that we took to land. I think. And then when we want the ship to pick us up, we'll signal them.
How many days are we staying on the planet for then? If we can approximate our journey and we take food rations appropriately. I mean, I've got rations on me, but I've only got like a week.
I got 20 rations, but
I
yeah.
got a week worth.
I don't think we'll need more than that, but you never know.
We can eat things that try to eat us.
Oh yeah, I've got like good berries. I got
I got my
spells that
cooking
can,
kit.
if we find berries.
Yeah, I could probably eat the trees. It's fun.
Ash is fine. He's got water and he's got trees and grass.
I don't know if does it actually work that way?
You can just,
Probably
you can
not.
just graze.
It's probably a supplement. It's not. You can't live off of it purely, I assume.
Okay. So just you guys are going to depart the ship, and you're going to have the ship go back up into orbit, or do you want the
Yeah,
ship to go someplace else and land? That's completely out of sight.
Yeah, landing somewhere further away on the plateau would be a good idea if they don't want to.
I mean, the plateau itself is a good 100 feet high. So, you know, I mean...
I was just thinking they stay in orbit without...
You'll get seen eventually.
Yeah, they will.
True.
They will even up there. What about moving the ship to
Like
say-
over here on the river, by the river, so they have water
Question.
supply?
Well, hang on. That third site is also a possible landing place.
No. It's not for a land ship. I mentioned before that there's not enough without extreme to put.
Yeah, I know, but the hostiles could have a water-based ship. So
I guarantee you they have, because this has a dock.
okay, then in that case, I would suggest that our people back off to say here.
All right.
And hide the ship with the
Yeah.
trees and such.
Yeah.
Is there? How about this? Is there any asteroid belts nearby? We could just hide a ship on the asteroid belt.
There's a
don't
planet.
Yeah.
We want to stay on this planet so that they can come get us quickly.
Or we can get to them.
I don't think we're going to get to them anytime soon now.
No. I mean, if we might need to get back to our ship and get off if we find evidence that our people have been taken off world to another moon orbiting the same planet as Green Shield. We might need to get back to the ship and go chasing after them. So if they go up into wild space, they've got to be somewhere where they can see us with a spyglass. So they've got to be fairly close. So it's probably best if they land, but take off if they get attacked.
Yeah.
And we've already agreed if they need to take off that they will
I think
attempt to do something.
also out of character. Do we think after we left Brawl, after we got here, do we fill in the crew on their actual mission? 'Cause they can't gossip with anybody anymore outside the people on the ship.
No, because we don't know what our outcome is.
All right.
So I think we'd still tell them it's a hunting expedition. What we don't want is for the guy we're working for to lose face. So if we keep it among ourselves, and we just happen to stumble on some people, you know, if we stumble on some people, we'll rescue them. That's believable.
Fair enough.
And then we can go back there. We can invent a cover story with the guy we're working for, and everyone's good.
Yep.
That we didn't get paid by him. We just came here to do something else. And bear in mind, if we tell the crew we lied to them and here's the truth, they're going to be second guessing everything we tell them.
True.
Depends,
True.
it would depend a lot on when you told them that you lied to them and what the reasons were.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would assume Yeldan would point out. I assume the reason might be enough to sway them.
In the end, they are working for us, and we are not obliged to tell them the truth.
True.
No, but that can also engender mistrust.
That's true.
That's why I brought it up in case.
That
But
Levi
we
is
got
not
a
really
point that
bothered
we
by
don't
that.
know- we don't know if he's on the pod.
Well, let's go to the camp and figure it out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let's.
We'll go there and find clues.
Let's.
Yeah.
So yeah, we land. We get him to go land. Getting them to land somewhere else might seem strange. So I think we should let them stay there, taking in the crew into account.
Well,
I think
hiding
we
in
don't
case
know-
like there's a dragon flying around or something like that. Hide the ship. That'd be great. Or
Yeah, I
something.
know, but we don't get them moving and land somewhere else. We just get them to hide the ship by the river.
In the tree line. That's fine.
Yeah.
All right, let's do that. We're flying right to where we're at there, and we're going to hide the ship in the tree line.
Right there.
And maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Does that sound good, guys? Anybody
Yep.
disagree?
Perfect.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. So are you gonna help the crew to hide the ship as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
But
you're not gonna leave until
I'll use my
you're satisfied.
knowledge of forest to make it a look
How
realistic in hiding.
much daylight do we have then?
Well, when you came
Once we
in,
land.
it was
Morning?
about mid-morning. So now it's going to be early afternoon after taking the time to hide the ship.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But the ship, if in case it needs to, we should clarify that can't take off in a hurry without much trouble.
Well,
So you're going to set it up so that if they take off, then they don't need to actually clear anything to take off. It just would fall off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flying kind
you
of
can
thing.
just push branches off or whatever.
All right, so you'd guess that it's about 2 p.m. by the time that you're done. And let me check for something.
Random encounter table.
We should also be tracking, well, putting down markers where we're traveling in case we get lost.
Up
We're going to be traveling down the river. It's hard to get lost.
the river. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, up the river.
We don't need to then.
We might when we get to the woods, but then we don't necessarily want other people to follow us.
How long does it take to travel one of these hexagons? Is it hexagons or?
Depends
Yeah, they're
on the terrain.
I'm going to...
Say the forest one, like there. Because my camouflage only lasts about 40 minutes, so I need to ascertain where I would be able to cast it for it to be useful.
You haven't been into the forest yet, but I can let you know as you start traveling.
Well, we're going to be traveling through the river first. It's going to be quite fast, I would.
All right. Well, I need to check something.
Oh, also, before we landed, I would have checked the river for any rapids. A lot to the portion that we're traveling.
No, it doesn't look like it's fairly smooth. It doesn't even seem like it is all that fast. It's kind of
So
a
it won't
leisurely...
be too much difficult. It won't be up river battle.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, people might want to check their supplies so they're actually taking food and water with them. So
I
you
got
might want
2 water.
readjust your weight.
I did this after session yesterday. I went and adjust my weight. Carry over 100 arrows, by the way.
Yeah,
That's
ridiculous.
That's
They don't weigh that much.
Yeah, but it's still a lot of arrows.
It is.
How many
lot of
quivers are
bulk.
you carrying then?
Like 100 something. It's like just over 100.
No, quivers, not arrows.
Oh, quivers. I'm actually only carrying 1 quiver with me. I'm just gonna swap
Bundle
out what's
them
in
up.
the quiver. Whereas when I'm like on the ship or something, like in an emergency, I have like 3 quivers lined up with different types of arrows. And depending on what type of emergency it is, it depends on which quiver I grab.
That dried me.
By the way, in the default, and I think during this one, the default quiver I'm using, one that has the default setup I have is magical arrow setup.
You better not fall over. All of these arrows sticking into you.
Okay, so it's about 2 p.m. You've hidden
Get
your
the
ship.
folding boat out.
You get the folding boat out, and you're gonna go straight to the river and then start sailing down.
We're gonna go straight up to the start of the river here. Oh, there we go.
Right, sail over there. All right.
And then we're gonna pack the boat back up and then continue through the woods.
Okay.
I would like to have a quick stop here and look towards this direction.
There's a
Good
mountain
Just,
in the way.
Just to see let's just to see whether we can actually see something.
Yeah, you can see a mountain.
Nothing else?
Not really.
Yeah,
Okay.
the mountain's pretty big.
All right, let me give you a token since you are the woodsman. You are going to be leading.
All right.
I assume. I used yours.
Mhm.
So let me make it so that you can modify it. I'm going to let everyone modify it though,
All right.
just because. There we go.
Wasn't the ship meant to be down here?
No, we decided against moving it because why would we move it if we were just hunting animal? Was
Okay.
the right since we're not telling the crew.
Not yet. We might tell them later.
Well, if we have to go to a different planetoid, we're gonna have to.
Yeah.
Okay. So traveling on the river will be considerably faster. It looks like to get to the river, it takes about 10 minutes from where you are where you leave the ship. So over the clear terrain, 1 hex is 1 turn. And it'll take
Okay.
longer for everything else. One of the reasons why it would be faster if you didn't have Higgimus with you. Just pointing that out.
Why?
Because you're
Higgimus
slower.
has to move slower.
Oh, sorry.
I'm lightly encumbered.
Like
But
encumbered.
Higgimus can pedal
this
much
doesn't.
faster than the others. Much more
Yeah.
powerful.
I'm sure he's the one doing most of the paddling, to be honest.
Captain doesn't paddle. What are you on about?
Once we get to the trees, the problem's going to be that Higgimus can't fit through all the little holes that the rest of us can fit through.
Yeah, lightly encumbered.
And if he breaks branches, it's going to make a noise.
Yeah, I'm not going to be quiet. I mean, I'll try,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to be.
Okay.
What's-
You could lie flat in the boat.
No one's heavy encumbered, are they? the most moderate.
Okkar's the only one I'm really worried about in terms of weight.
I'm looking.
Just don't fall out the boat.
I think I'm only lightly encumbered.
How
In
how
full
deep
plate.
is this? How
But
deep
just-
is this river that we've just got to?
If I'm not carrying if I'm not carrying if I'm not carrying the freaking bassinet with me, then I go under 100 pounds, so I'm lightly encumbered.
Snack.
Just because you're under 100 does not mean you're lightly encumbered unless your
I think
strength
some
is high
people.
enough.
My
I think
strength
some
is
people are
16.
moderate, so we're going at
I'm
moderate.
lightly encumbered.
I'm at light.
'Cause- yeah,
Yeah, I'm
I
at
just-
light as well. I have a strength of 16, so
And you also will notice I'm not wearing the stud leather armor, I'm wearing normal leather armor.
Higgimus is wearing his plate, so.
Well, we
I
move at the
see-
slowest person.
I see Ockar a current weight of 104.
that's because of an item that I should have left on the ship. That
We just say left it. We haven't technically.
yeah, I'll leave that. So that would mark me down to current weight 999. Okay.
I
Don't
don't know how
you
many
need to
people
be-
are. I don't know how you guys are over encumbered.
I have
Higgimus, not all of us have 20 strength.
Higgimus, my main armor puts me at exactly my max allowance.
So
For being lightly encumbered.
You got food and water on you as well,
mhm.
because we don't know how long we're going to be here. So these things will add up.
Yeah, I have food. I also have 2 water
I've got food
skins.
and water, and I'm still at light. I'm not far off moderate though.
Okay, so
Neither am I.
you get to the river. You transform. Were you transforming the folding boat into the large form or the small form?
Small form if we can all fit in the small one.
Well, would both fit on the river?
Yes.
Okay, so we can go in the small form if we fit in it, and if we rescue anyone, we can change it into the large form if necessary.
Yep.
What's the size differences between the small and large? So like
Pretty
6 to
significant.
18.
Let
Something.
me actually. I think I Yeah, I don't have this on everyone. Let me just do all players. There we go.
I don't know if we have that written down actually.
No, I
We
created a handout. Now you should all see it. I'd only given it to Higgimus because he said that he was carrying it, and that doesn't really make sense. So now you can all see it.
Yeah, folding boat.
There was a question about how deep the river was. The river itself is probably about 40 to 60 feet wide, and it's difficult to say. In some places, though, it's definitely more than 10 feet deep.
Question:
So
Does it
you've
look
got-
like a Viking ship?
No,
A long wilt.
no.
We've
Yes.
got that.
A Latine's sail is a triangular sail, I believe.
I was looking at the size description.
We've got that pole to test how deep the river is. At least 15 foot or more.
Oh yeah, the rod of lordly might, though we don't know that's what it is.
No, I meant the thing that Asher got himself trapped and almost drowned with.
I also assume that we need to be on land when we unfold the boat. Correct?
Yeah.
Are there
So
spaces to land or everywhere, or would we be restricted to certain places?
The shores are reasonably clear. I mean, all you need to do is pull it up a bit. And actually,
Okay.
I was wrong. In the larger form, it does have a square sail, so that would be a more like a long ship.
Yeah.
Although it has a deck.
I was just looking at but anyways, it's the smaller form is 10 feet long, 4 feet wide, and it should be big enough for just us.
Yeah, there's only one set of oars. There really isn't enough
Okay.
wind to use the
Sail,
the sail.
because it's surrounded by trees. The river.
But you also don't think that the larger form would really fit. I mean, despite the width and the depth, it's still a bit too big for this type of river. The large form.
Okay.
You could use it when we're on the lake and just shoot at them, providing they don't have ranged attacks. Oh, we should get like a folding ballista or something, or scorpion.
All right, so you're gonna sail down. Anything that you want to do in particular while you're sailing?
Well, Yeldan's gonna keep watch for creatures in the water and on the shore trying to come at him.
Okay. And when I say sail, I do mean
oh.
Higgimus would be rowing.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, I'm pretty sure Higgimus is just going to be rowing the whole time. So we also have to pay attention.
Lafdul's going to ask Yeldan, what kind of animals or do you see anything that would have like a good view or knowledge of this area? Well, basically, I have a spell that will allow me to communicate with it, but I need something that would have a good idea of what's going on around here, something that might have seen something like birds or something that travels. Have you seen anything thus far that might be a good base for me to use my spell upon? So I can talk to it, so it can possibly give us information on whether or not we've seen our dwarven captor, our captoree, I don't know what you want to call it, prisoner, or, other human folk or whatever. You know what I mean.
Well, I'll have to ask God. Have I seen anything like that?
You've seen some small animals like squirrels, but you've only been on this side of the river, so you don't know what's on the other side of the river. And generally the small animals on this side of the river probably have not been to the other side of the river. You have seen some songbirds, and you have seen a couple hawks, but
I'm thinking of something that's generally a bit smarter than some things.
A hawk is smart and it's got good sight.
Yeah.
the hawks have all been pretty high up in the air. So you haven't really seen anything. I mean, you can keep
There's
an
a
eye
few.
out.
Yeah, I'll tell him I'll keep
Lafdul
an eye
gets
out,
his-
but hawks. If the hawks were not nearly as high, those would probably be
Lafdul's
best.
had a terrible idea that would probably put him in the evil alignment, but he's thinking of he's looking at Taean and he's thinking, that could make a very good bait for a hawk.
Leva notices Lafdul looking, says, "What the? What do you want to do? What are you doing?"
And Yeldan will also mention, do have pay, and if you can do speak with animals type, you could just use it on him and have him scout.
I
No.
could, but I'd rather
his
have.
type of he seems like a cat when it comes around. And
No, if you truly live in the woods, then you know that cat-sized creatures don't survive very long unless they've grown up there and know exactly what's what.
I was
wanna use
referring
it
to
on something
scouting
that's
out
been
the.
here.
I was referring to scouting out the base
Oh yeah,
in the structure.
I know that, but I'd rather use it on an animal that's already been here. I think I gain more information from that because, well, we've got invisibility. I've got potions if I really need to, and stuff.
Braxon's actually thinking that we should pull off to the side when we're approaching the lake, not when we get to the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was
What time is it?
Maybe back here.
I was
What
looking
time
at
is it?
the
It's 2 p.m.
mouth.